So we're at the Pima Air and Space Museum. So what do you think so far?
Well, it's a lot of airplanes.
It is a lot of airplanes.
It's really interesting. And the best part is we hear that one of the veterans from World War II is here today. And he's only here on Thursdays, and we happen to be here on a Thursday.
And he's a right young age of
101. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So he speaks apparently and tells stories, and so we're hoping to catch him while we're here.
Yeah. And see what he has to say about being in the air in World War II.
And the whole principle of flight, most people, you say, why is the plane flying? Well, it just flies. Well, folks, the wing is round on the top, it's flat on the bottom. It takes longer for air to get over the top than it does the bottom. When you put thrust, that creates lift. That's why your plane flies. So if somebody asks you now you know why a plane flies. Not that it does fly.
I have that same scarf. That pilot's wearing my scarf.
And behind us right here is a Cessna 172. And that's one of the airplanes that my dad used to own and fly.
C means cargo transport, so that must include like what tanks and stuff.
What'd you think?
What's that? Surprised me. It's kind of fun to see. I know I used to be up in an airplane right that size, and in fact I kind of took a little bit of flying lessons from my dad in an airplane that size.
I didn't realize how small it is. I had never seen it in person. I've only seen pictures.
Yeah, that'll hold 4 people moderately comfortably in there, 2 in the front and 2 in the back. And I believe it was the 172 that my dad flew. We flew one time from Michigan to Texas to visit one of my sisters, and another time we flew from Michigan to Florida for a family vacation.
Cool. Say that again.
It's bigger than a car.
No, just walk along. I want to just film you walking.
These windows flip open this way, so you can get air, and you can actually stick your head out the window if you want. My dad did that once in an airplane he was flying, and he turned to look behind him, and his prescription sunglasses got sucked off his face, but he happened to reach out and catch him in the air.
No way.
So he didn't lose them.
That's a great story. I don't think I've ever heard that one.
So they're using the airplanes like a canvas. So that's the name of the art. Acrylic on Beechcraft, UC 45.
Maybe from inside they can see.
I don't know.
It's a tree.
Well, maybe they need that to see because all the windows are painted over.
I think they were not painted when they were flying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, come around. You all are actually in your second museum today. So congratulations. This museum is its own nonprofit. We operate independently from Pima Air and Space Museum. We are just a tent. Now, we don't charge you any admission. We operate off of donations and this fantastic gift shop. What we're all about here is this memorial. The 390th Bomb Group was one of 40 bomb groups that deployed to England in World War II. Over 600 young men were killed in action and over 700 became prisoners of war from this one unit in just 20 months of combat. This was the most dangerous job in World War II, was to get in a heavy bomber over Germany, Belgium, and France. A third of all kids that got in the B-17 were killed in action. A third became prisoners of war. They only had a 25% chance of going home uninjured. So this is what this hangar is about. It's all those kids' sacrifices. Our B-17 is down the ramp. It's fully restored. You can actually poke your head inside of it. Now, down with our B-17 is Colonel Richard Basham. He's 101 years old. He flew 28 combat missions with the 390th Bomb Group. He's one of 2 veterans from this group that we are aware of that's alive today out of the 3,000 men that were air crew in the 390th. So please do spend some time with him. His book is available in the gift shop. It's called My Wars. He'll autograph any copies that get purchased. And last thing, if you see anything you don't like, if you have any complaints, write it on a $10 bill, stick it in my suggestion box, and we'll get right on fixing it for you. I hope you all are inspired today.
Thank you.
So that day, we were bombing an aircraft factory located at Augsburg, Germany, way down in southeast Germany. 22,000 feet, we were over the target. So we got there, turned on the bomb run. 21 of us in our formation. Ahead of us was a group, behind us were more groups bombing that same target. So our group got there to the target, dropped our bombs, and right after the bomb drop, 3 of our airplanes went down out of our group. The flak was intense on the entire bomb run into that factory. We turned away from the target, 18 left in our formation. 21 is what we started with. And ahead of us was a big towering storm, higher than we were. You cannot take a formation of airplanes into a cloud or you begin banging into each other and lose an airplane. So we diverted around the cloud. This whole string of airplanes, group after group, diverted around the clouds. The diversion took us off of our route and took us right over a German airfield. Not a good place to be. The flak was intense and very accurate. And we were all taking a lot of hits. Now, here we are. We're already damaged some. When we left the target, my little ball turret gunner called out. We got oil running off the wing behind number 1 engine. I said, how fast is it running? He said, well, it's a steady stream, but it's not a gusher. That was a good word. Oh my God, we're all taking serious hits. Our skin was aluminum. It didn't stop anything. So it went right through the skin. Now, as we left there, my little ball turret gunner called in, we have oil gushing out of number 2 and number 3. Number 2 and number 3. Now that meant I had a serious hit in the oil system of those two engines. So we're about 4 minutes away from that terrible anti-aircraft fire. And an arm came over my shoulder and hit number 2 feather button. And the prop feathered and I shut the engine down. Number 2 engine. The manifold on number 2 engine furnished a little warm air that was blown into the cockpit to defrost our windshield. The minute I shut that engine down, that warm air stopped and the windshield frosted up. Every window in the cockpit frosted up. Now I couldn't see out to see how to fly a formation because I couldn't see the other airplane. So I lifted my airplane up and backed out of the formation so I wouldn't run into anybody else in the formation. Here we are in enemy territory, all by ourselves. Number 1 engine is leaking oil all the way from the target, but still running. Number 2 is shut down and the prop is feathered. Number 3, I shut the engine down, but the prop is out here spinning, causing me a lot of drag. I had to push it through the air. Number 4 was a good engine. Thank God for one. Now, I still had number 1 and number 4 running. So I got within sight of our base back in England. And there were airplanes circling the base. The guys that had more engines than I did beat me there. So they were circling the base to get in. Procedure was when you got home, if you had wounded on board, you shot a red flare. If you had mechanical difficulties, you shot a green flare. It looked like they were having a Christmas celebration over the base. Everybody was shooting red and green flares all over the place. I got it on the runway, hit it, got it settled, and I'm going 80 miles an hour. Hit the brakes, and there weren't any. No brakes. I got about 600 or 700 feet from the end of the runway, and I made the airplane ground move. That's not over and over, it's sharp turn, ground move. So I'm going down the runway. I put full power on number 1 engine and made the airplane turn to the right, off the runway into the English mud. I wasn't sure what was going to happen, but boy, God saved us. We were in that mud. Those big tires were buried about that deep with a pile of mud ahead of each one of them as we slid out through there. The 10 of us crawled out and we're standing there looking at this wreck that brought us home. And we're all being very thankful that we had made it back to England. Now, the crew chiefs were always watching when the group came home to see if their airplane was one of the ones that made it back. And that day, 3 of ours did not. So the crew chief for this airplane, and it was Bell of the Brawl, he saw his airplane land. And it didn't look very good. Full of holes. One prop was feathered and one was flopping around out here. It was covered with oil on the bottom. And he watched it go down the runway, and then he saw it turn off into the mud. And he got on his bike, and he rode as far as he could, and then he slogged out through the mud to where we were. He got there, and he looked at this airplane, and I mean, it's in terrible shape. 2 engines are out, full of holes, covered with oil, and it's in the mud. And he turned to me, and he said, "Geez, Lieutenant, what'd you do to my airplane?" I said, "Well, let's get that part straight. I didn't do that. The Germans did that. They're the ones that shot that airplane up. I just brought it home." Here's what happened. 25 days later, he had it all fixed. And it flew a mission and was shot down, and 8 were killed and 2 were taken prisoner. That was the next mission on the airplane. Talk about lucky. I was so lucky, it was unbelievable.
That was your last mission, right?
That was my 28th and my last one. 28 out of 25.
Yep.
When we got there, they said fly 25 and you could go home. I got to my 18th one, and they said, sorry to tell you this, the quota's been raised to 30. So they said, since you already have a bunch, we'll prorate you. You don't have to go 30. So 28. A real morale booster. They added 3 more to me. Oh my God. Well, that was my 28th one and my last one. Boy, was I glad. It was a tough, tough time.
It's crazy because up in there you can see the controls of the plane are cables and pulleys and just so fragile.
Wow. Different technology than we have now.
Yes. Look at this. This is the plane that was in the one Bond movie. It was in Octopussy, where he flew through the barn.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So which one are you gonna fly?
I'm liking this blue one.
Oh yeah. So we've been at the Pima Air and Space Museum.
Yep.
And what was really fun is we got to be here with friends from Michigan. Yeah, church friends from Michigan. And so they're all right here. So we have Linda and Sid, you doing, and Barb right here. And so we get to go through the whole Air and Space Museum. But what are we going to do now?
Sweet tomatoes.
Sweet tomatoes.
We're going to eat.
Lunch.
Lunch.
Lunch is next on the agenda.